Good morning, everyone. This is Biz Chicks TV. This is the place where you can find tips and tools to help you do business better. We're here to help you run a profitable business that's fun to run and to take the hassle out of your hustle. And today is Coffee, Tea, Thoughts, and Conversations. Hey, I'm here with my partner, Miss Francine Gregory, real estate entrepreneur and tech diva, also our producer. I'm Terralina from California Cover Ups, and we're the Biz Chicks. We just are looking so forward to having this conversation with you this morning. Good morning, Fran.
Good morning, Terry. Good morning, everybody watching live and on the replay. Just want to say it is December 2nd.
Mm, who knew?
I hope you all had a really good Thanksgiving. Appreciate everybody tuning in live and on the replay. Every Monday, we talk about thoughts and have
Mm,
coffee or water, in my case today, tea,
mm-hmm.
conversations, and we invite you to join the conversation too, Uncle Lionel. So, anyway, hey,
Hi,
Jen,
Janice.
good morning, good morning. So, today's
We,
conversation, what do you think we're talking about today? I didn't even put it on the banner.
okay, today we're talking about being original. Do you want to be an original or a knockoff?
Right.
Mm-hmm. And
And um, I'm just put this up here. Let me go ahead and let me.
okay, I was looking up the definition of what is an original, and on my iPad, I got a definition here. It says present or existing from the beginning, first or the earliest. I think that's interesting. Um, so you don't have to be, completely new. You can just be the first one out with the information. You can be existing from the beginning, first or earliest, created directly or personally by a particular artist, not a copy or an imitation. So then the noun says something serving as a model or basis for imitations or copies, an eccentric or unusual person. Hmm. So if you're original, they consider you eccentric. That's interesting. Um,
Okay, so when we're in the guise of what we're talking about here today, in the world of business, because that's what we talk about,
mhm.
there are so many people who are following the crowd. If you're not one of them, I salute you. But there are so, and if you are one, I still salute you. There are
Mhm.
so many people who are following the crowd, the people who are doing what the other people are doing.
Mhm.
Because I
Mhm.
I too want followers, so I'm going to do this to get the followers. But you're not following your own path.
I
You
think. Go ahead.
continue. You're
I
not
I
following.
think this is about, people want a formula. They want to add water and stir. They think everything is multi-level marketing where, they're going to give you all of the scripts, all of the um, ways to do this thing. And so it
Okay,
takes away your originality because even within a multi-level business, you need to stand out.
correct. And how do you stand out if you look like everybody else and you dress like everybody else and you say the same catchphrases as everybody else and you have you're not doing anything you. One of the people that's a biz chicks here that we work with, Lakeisha, there are how many
Thousands, just thousands.
Mary Kay representatives? Lakeisha stands out because she doesn't do her business like anybody else.
Remember when she did the brownies and eyebrows?
Right.
I thought that was genius. Come on by, I have some brownies. We're gonna do eyebrows. I'm gonna show you how to do them. Um, that was original. You
And
know,
it was memorable.
yeah, because it's stuck in my mind.
Right. She wasn't being a knockoff. The products that she uses to help you tame your eyebrows are the same products that every other Mary Kay representative uses, but she
Mhm.
does it in her own unique fashion.
Yes.
She's using the tools. Mary Kay
Mhm.
happens to be the tool. It is not the business. Lakeisha is the business.
Beauty
Mary
by LA.
Yep, Beauty by LA. Lakeisha is the business. She is, and Mary Kay just happens to be the tool.
There you go.
So
Uh,
when we're talking about being the original or the knockoff, what are you doing that is originally you? Are we seeing the original you?
Ooh. Mm.
And
That.
Janice, she says, I'm not a knockoff. She's an original. Janice is original. She's the original redhead, although her hair is not red right now, but she's the original redhead that brought us fantastic information about how to do networking. It's more than wine and meatballs. If you want to know how to do networking, you need to reach out to Janice Jordan. It was unique in the way that, because it wasn't like, okay, I have cards and I'm just going to pass them out to everybody I see. Janice told us how to do that well, how to do
Mm-hmm.
it correctly, and not just be
All over the place.
like everybody else and have your cards end up in the trash can like everybody else.
Well, the thing too was if you're trying to get to everybody, you're not spending any quality time building relationships with people, and people do business based on relationships. So if you never had a meaningful conversation, why should they keep your card?
And they
And
should. Uh,
I'm just saying.
Because okay, our is the the purpose for taking the card is because they have something that works in alliance with what you do.
Exactly.
That's why you take the card, not just so you can put somebody on your database and email them. And because all of the gurus say, you need to build a database.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you need to build your email list. We need to get them in the funnel. You and I have had this conversation about funnels lately.
Okay.
What
Well,
is the deal? It's the new catchphrase is the funnel, getting
mhm.
everybody in the funnel. But you don't want everybody in the funnel.
That to me, that's like getting everybody to come through the door. Well, everybody that comes through the door is not going to buy anything. They're just coming through the door. Now you gotta mop up more.
So you being the original, you want the right somebodies
Exactly.
in your door. You want the right
Indeed.
people when you're going to your networking events. You want to meet up with the right people, the people that you can make a strategic alliance with, where it's good for your business and it's good for their business.
Exactly. Exactly. Now I'm looking over here on bealeader.com, and it says examples of an original person. They come up with their ideas themselves. They might be gotten from inspiration from another person, but they go out of their way to make it original, to make it them.
Right. So, and Janice has a comment here. She says, I am also original because I am made by God and He is my CEO.
There you go.
Yes, you are absolutely correct. I went on a encouragement tangent this morning.
Mm-hmm. I like the way you uh, said that.
And my tangent was this, and so I'm spilling this tangent over there. Who are you really? And are you doing the thing for which you were put on this planet? Everybody on the planet is
Mm-hmm.
here for a reason. You have a purpose, you have a genius, you have a passion, you have an assignment for being on this planet. Are you on
Mm-hmm.
assignment, or are you traipsing behind somebody else and following their
Mm.
I'm going to do it like they did? Or are you on your unique assignment? Now, some people don't know what their assignment is. So your assignment is to find out what your assignment is and not just float around the universe, dabbling in a little bit of this and dabbing in a little bit of that. Know who you are, what your assignment is, and be about it. Get on that assignment. I'm telling you right now, stop paying money to everybody until you figure out who you are and what you do. I said it and I shall say it again. Stop paying money until you figure out who you are and what you do. Once you understand who you are and what you do, you can then be better. You can call a coach, because now the coach will be able to help you. There's nothing like paying a coach and they're helping you and doing all this stuff, and you are on the wrong task.
Okay, let me say this. There's nothing worse than calling up a coach and you don't even know what sport you want to participate in. So I'm coaching you for skiing and you want to be an Olympic swimmer. You need to decide what game are you really into that you want to be coached for? Because
Right.
otherwise the coach is just sort of guessing and giving you general information because you've been real general about what it is you do. Does that make sense?
It does. And so we have Jill from Breathing Space here. She knows what she does. She calms the chaos
There you go.
in a language you can understand. So she understands that. She is tweaking that. She has put her own, because if you just say yoga, okay, now we've got however many search hits for yoga. But if you
Mhm.
say calming chaos, then you're going to find Jill. You'll find Jill because she's niched, because
Mhm.
she knows what she does. And she's been doing it for years. One of my other parts of my conversation this morning was,
Jill says she stays in her lane.
and she said, "Stay in my lane, I love."
Okay.
Okay, so here's the thing. How about, the thought crossed my mind, people
Mhm.
don't follow up or do the things that they're supposed to do, possibly because they're in the wrong assignment. Not that they can't do it, they don't do it because this is not what they
Mhm.
call you. Let's take the athletes, like you just said. They love baseball and or basketball or football so much so that they're willing to stay out on the field and get hit numbers
Mhm.
of times on the football field, right?
Okay, yeah.
They're getting hit
They're
every
getting shook up for
and they
real.
show up for practice and they put it all on and, okay, hit me. They get in the game. They go to the trial runs. They run the suicides. You know what that is, where you're running up and down the field. They run the suicides. They run the bleachers.
Mm-hmm. They do.
They do long distance running. They do all of this stuff so they can show up on Sunday morning with thousands of fans watching them, but they show up for that game. They're
Mm-hmm.
in the game. Now you got 20 or 30,000 fans sitting in the bleachers. They didn't even get out and do a push-up. Let me see. Or the people in the stands, they're watching these other people do the assignment. The other
Mm-hmm.
people in the stands, they like what they see on the field, but they're not getting down there on the field doing that.
My goodness.
So if it's really your passion, are you putting all into it?
And are you willing to take the field?
Are you willing to get in the game?
Do you really want playtime?
There's a lot of people, I just can't seem to call my clients and I can't seem to figure, okay, that's because maybe this ain't what you're supposed to be doing.
Mm-hmm.
It's an indicator. If now, I'm not saying that you get it perfect all the time, but at least you make an attempt to keep up.
Or maybe you need an original approach to how you do it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because maybe that's not your method, but you're trying to use a formula,
That's not you.
and the formula is really not you. So you may, for instance, you may be so different from other players. You're inspired by them, but maybe your layup is backwards. Do you remember the guy who used to do the high jumps and he flipped backwards over the thing, and they call it some kind of flop? And he, people were like, how does he do that?
Whatever, he got over the bar, didn't he?
Yes, and he won consistently, and went on to be a medalist in the Olympics. But I'm just saying that his approach was original.
Right.
But he was in the same game as all the other high jumpers. So I'm saying to you, but if we had tried to train him to jump over forward, it wasn't working for him.
But he knew his strengths and limitations.
Mm.
I'm telling you, we need to be checking out why we do what we do. Looking at, and I'm telling you, December 2nd, 2019, sit down, take an assessment. Are you really doing what you're supposed to be doing right now? If you can say yes unequivocally, there's no, I don't know. If you don't have any question about it, then go for it. Get yourself a coach, get some people that's going to help you get better at the things you need to be better about for your business. However, if what you're doing is not what you're supposed to be doing, I'm telling you now, shift gears, reroute, like on the GPS, reroute that thing. Check your map. Are you on course for where you're supposed to be going? Or are you following somebody else's trail because they made money at it?
Yeah. You know what I mean? Do you love what you do?
They made six figures.
And is that really your objective? Now, see, that's the other thing too.
Good.
Being original means, your objectives may be different. Maybe you really are more interested in the purpose versus the monetary gain. And so,
but somebody's told you that you have to have monetary gain, and if you're not making the monetary gain, then that ain't what you're supposed to be doing. But is it really? Because not everybody's driven by profit. So let's talk about this for a second. I'm sorry, Terry, I cut you off.
No, you didn't.
The people who built Apple, Henry Ford, who did the first car, all of these people were not going for profit. They were going for a passion. Henry Ford's case was he was tired of his wife dragging her dress through the mud.
Okay.
He was solving a problem. So the passion that he had, he figured, like, you know what? We can still move a little faster than just, the horses. Let's do a little something else. Let's make the engine. And people bought onto it, and eventually they became profitable. But that wasn't his intent at the beginning.
Well, I think the other thing too, Francine, is this. He was solving a problem. So his purpose was to solve that problem for his wife, or
right.
you know what I'm saying? To make something better.
So
what is your heart? What's in your heart?
So the profit is actually comes when you solve the problem, not before. And if I'm just going to put it out here. So if you're reaching for profit first,
it may be a challenge. And the other thing is you'll probably give up before you make the discovery
Right.
because you're saying, "Oh, I'm not making any money. Oh, I'm not making any," and you're just focused on that as opposed to, "Oh, there are three, what is it, 9,000 different ways to fail before I come up with the light bulb."
Okay, I'm going to talk about a person. I'm not mentioning names.
Mhm,
They solved a problem for a client.
mhm,
The client was like, "Oh, I'm so glad you helped me with this." But because that person couldn't see the profit, they felt like they didn't contribute anything.
mhm,
But the person was helped by the service provider. But the service provider is like, I've spent all this money. There's nothing in my bank account. So I'm not, I'm really not doing this business. But you help the person. You helped that person, and they are telling other people how you helped them.
mhm,
You solve their problem. But if you quit and change up
mhm.
because you didn't see the money right away, you're doing the rest of the people that's going to come as a result of this person a disservice. They won't ever get to know you.
Mm.
How many companies have you heard of where they didn't eat, or they Walt Disney? If everybody could, if you ever want to see the story of Walt Disney, you should go to Netflix or something and watch Walt before Disney.
Mm, mhm.
Okay, he had a passion for what he was doing. He's feeding the mouse before he fed himself.
Wow. Wow. That's amazing. And I think it's synonymous though. It's synonymous to those of us who put money in our business before we see a profit.
Right. Are you passionate about what you're doing? Lakeisha is passionate about helping women be beautiful. And she does whatever she can. She's building a business, yes, but her first point is to help you become a better you,
Mhm.
more
Mhm.
beautiful. Here's some colors. Here's the colors of the season that's going to make you look wonderful and blah blah blah. So she does that.
Mhm.
Janice is helping you network better. So when you go and do whatever, we can get the mistaken idea like, oh my gosh, I'm not, I'm not making money at this. You may not make money for a minute. So that's why your angel investor, your JOB, is an angel investor. Let them invest in you while you're trying to figure out your passion.
You see? Yes, so that you and the mouse can eat. I just
And don't quit the JOB.
please,
I
people,
want
not
to
till
be
you're
my own
ready.
boss. I don't want nobody telling me what to do. Okay, we'll see when you become your own boss. Now you got to tell yourself what to do.
Mhm.
And
And if you don't like taking orders, that might be an issue.
because, oh, I don't have to do that today. No, you're going to be on a more rigid schedule as your own boss than you will if you were, uh, let's say, just, you
An
know,
employee.
yes, because,
Let's use the word employee
okay, employee.
because that's pretty general. Yes.
It's okay to be an employee,
It's great
right?
because you get to learn on somebody else's dime.
Mm,
I can remember working in the corner grocery store. I think I started when I was around 10 or 11. I mean, I could run that store because the couple was elderly. So I was stocking shelves, I was running the cash register, I was waiting on customers. Um, and by the time I was 12, I mean, I could have run that store from the front to the back, with the exception of the butcher counter, which, the older guy did,
right.
but because he didn't want me running saws and carrying.
No, we don't want you. There's some things that did not fit.
But I took in inventory. I checked the inventory when the guys would deliver stuff. I mean, whatever needed to be done, they would. allow me to help, and eventually I was able to learn. And I don't think either one of us was even conscious of it, because I started out just coming in to volunteer. Hey, can I help y'all? Da 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 da. Oh, okay. Let this little girl hang around. You know what I'm saying? And my brother would pick me up uh, on his way from high school. But yeah, it was interesting how internships develop. So your job is an internship is where I'm going with this.
And that was a technical term. Okay, this is called apprenticeship. You
Hmm.
get it on the Disney movie, The Sorcerer's Apprentice. Okay, you just need to go help somebody else.
Hmm.
Uh,
Yes, and I got a lot of skills.
Anna says safety and all. Sounds like you got a lot of good skills. Yes,
Talk
Anna.
about that saw. Yeah, thank you.
And so it's okay to have a job.
Hmm.
While you're figuring out who you are, help somebody else in their endeavor until you can figure out who you are, and then you can copy them, but not copy to the point where you are mimicking them like the Stepford Wives. You
Yes.
you don't want to do that. You want to pick up good ways of doing business and picking up. And Anna says that's a good your job is an apprenticeship. It is. It really is.
Hmm. Hmm.
Because okay, how many people people not different people from different countries come in here and they come in and learn the business
Hmm. Hmm.
and go set up shop at another, go set up their business, right?
Yes. Hmm. Well, I think they just happen to be in a country where they can set up a business,
And actually and
and
actually
people don't come and take everything.
true. We over here sometimes we get a little
Complacent.
yeah, okay, and entitled, like, oh, I'm just supposed to. No, you need to go to work and you need to help someone else. And while you're figuring out who you are
Hmm. Hmm.
and how to bring out what you do. So if you know what you do, like, okay, do we want the doctor to not go through internship and
Oh
residency?
my gosh.
We want them to come out of school and just start working.
And be unsupervised. I want him,
Wait,
want him to go through employment first. I want him as an apprentice.
the doctor,
You know what I mean?
the doctor comes out. I'm gonna be my own boss.
Now I'm really practicing medicine. Or you. Okay. Oops, I didn't know that was the wrong dosage.
Yeah, and Anna says, I think the quote was, "Your job is an internship." Whatever it is, Anna, your job is you're there to learn something from somebody who's already gone through it, who's
Yes.
already built up the company or built up whatever it is that you're trying to do. You learn from them and you move forward. That's
Hmm.
why in the real estate industry, because I'm a real estate broker, you work 2 years with another real estate broker before they let you out on your own.
Okay. So they turn you loose. Lord help us.
Have to work with someone else.
Hmm. Hmm. And so the whole thing, I think there's a difference. I think an internship is unpaid, and I think an apprenticeship is paid because you're actually doing the work. You've learned the skill to a certain degree,
Right.
but you're there to learn more expertise. But regardless, we both have the same thing in mind as far as internship or apprenticeship. Learn something first. You come out here and try to change my tire.
And then Anna has a really good comment here. She says, and the job that people, first gen immigrants, create are often not even glamorous. Dry cleaners, manicurists doing the work and getting bank.
Hmm.
And you can argue with people all that look.
But the economy is shifting. It's shifting back to a service economy. because most things are becoming come on, computerized.
Mhm.
Artificial intelligence is taking over a lot of things like customer service. Um, press one for this, stay on the line for that. If you just really got to speak to a body, press zero. You know.
I heard something yesterday. If you are getting back to, oh, this is what it was. If you can be personable, making phone calls,
Hmm.
showing up in person, that because of just what you said, you will be remembered and very well compensated because you're talking to people, because you are not just digital.
Exactly,
You show
because
up.
don't you now remember the Christmas cards you get in the mail because there's so few? Remember there used to be so many, you could all around the fireplace.
And now you get a bunch of emails with people who put
Hmm.
something together. They didn't take time to write the they didn't take time to write a letter to grandma, or they didn't take time to, or I'm talking about our clients and stuff. Do we handwrite cards and mail them? Mm. And Anna says, I tell kids nowadays, don't calculate what you get paid per hour for an internship. It can be a downer. Do it for the skills, not the cash.
There you go.
That is so true because what you walk away with is far outweighs the cash. What you learned from the grocery store.
And there's so few people now who are willing to take the time up with you. They're like, you know what? I don't have time for that. And I think it's because we're not our parents or our grandparents. Things have changed so much generationally. Everybody's looking at a screen and doing different things. But the deal is, we can look at the screen together and I can show you what I'm doing with this tool. Um, and so we just have to approach it differently because things are not as labor intense as they used to be. Does that make sense?
Yeah. You need to pull somebody under your wing.
Yeah. And my granddaughter comes in all the time. Oh, Grammy, what you doing? I'm like, oh Lord, I have got to be more patient. I've got to be prepared because she'll say to me, let's make something because I'm a crafter. So she'll say, let's make something, Grammy. Okay.
And she could be crapped in the next shoes.
Who knows?
Hey,
But
Nora.
one thing I did get done because I was trying to figure this out, Francine, and I did eventually figure it out. Let me see if I can find this image. This took me, I don't know if you can see that. Let's see if I can get it.
Turn it toward the screen. Keep going. Right there.
Is
Now,
that better?
yeah, I see it.
Okay. I eventually got this on a t-shirt for my grandson. That's his artwork. So he's like 13 and I'm like, okay. Uh I couldn't figure out the packaging because the packaging, are you ready for this? Had no detailed instructions on how to use the transfers. And I'm in here messing up transfer.
And
but
transfer
my
ain't cheap.
yes, but my point is that I eventually got it done, and he got a chance to see his artwork on a shirt and to take that home. And so, to me, that's a part of um, internship, to show people how to take their skill and turn it into a business. He loves to draw.
I'm just saying, whatever it is that you've been put on this earth to do, you need to figure that out and be about doing it because people need your expertise. And if you're being a copycat or if you're being not being original,
Hmm.
how are they going to get help? Because we are all put here on this planet for a purpose. I know people tell you, you know, you may get the thought in your mind that what can I do? A lot. You can do a lot. You got to figure out who you are and what you're supposed to be doing.
Mm-hmm.
Please go for that. We need you to step up and be who you're called to be. If you need help trying to figure that out, Terry and I, we can help you figure that out.
That is our purpose. Our
We can help
purpose is to help you with your purpose.
Right. We can help you get down to your purpose.
Mhm.
And Jerry Scott says, yes, you can print to fabric.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
the two of you need to talk because
Well,
I'm telling you,
I do, but I didn't want to have to stitch it on there, Jerry. I know what you're talking about. It's like if you want to do something and then quilt it into something. I get that. But
no,
I wanted to actually transfer.
no, she said print to fabric,
Mhm.
run the fabric to print.
The
Anyway,
fabric is separate from the t-shirt. Yeah. And that's a crafting thing.
and then Anna has a question. How does one figure out our purpose? Does it change through the life cycle?
It may.
It could morph, but Anna, I'm serious. We do things in life and we haven't sat down and figured out, is this what I'm really supposed to be doing? It will take some sitting down and being quiet. And
Am I an ice skater or am I a pole vaulter?
and I'm talking about deeper than that because what we're talking about, Terry, is the thing that you were put on the planet for sometimes is very difficult to discover when you have the noise of everything in the world telling you, be this, you can be what you want. No, you can't be what you want. You need to be who you were assigned to be because you're not going to be happy until you are who you've been called to be. I know they tell you you can be a star, you can dream. Maybe you're not supposed to be the star. Maybe you're supposed to do something else.
Mm-hmm.
And you need to figure out what that is. If you want help doing that, you need to call me and Terry. We will kind of help you figure that kind of thing out. But you'll know, you'll know what you're supposed to do. There's questions that we can ask and there's things to do. We can help you get to that point. My job is to help you figure out what it is that you're supposed to do, especially with regard to thinking. That's what I do. Terry will get you on workshops and we'll get you through it.
It'll take you down the road of discovery.
Right, because you have to discover. A lot of times, we end the show with go to the front of your own line. You know why we do that? Because we are always in somebody else's line. We're always pushing people forward, but you never go to your own line. You never go to the front of what you're been called to do. You're always, unless you've been called to help everybody else, or are you really hiding and not being who you've been called to be? My life was about, she thought her life was about raising kids. Well, the youngest is 15. He'll be in school till age 21, certificate track. You're right.
So does that mean you're going to spend 7 years just waiting? I'm just asking.
No, she's not going to wait.
Anna, what is your business? I'm sorry. Could you tell us? What does she do?
No, I'm not. Anna, what do you do? I'm going deeper than business here. And I'm doing it on purpose. It's 2020. You need to figure out what it is you're supposed to be doing. You don't have the rest of your life to be on the sidelines or being a copycat. You really don't.
You know, and I ask this because, a lot of times people are stay-at-home moms, but I know a friend of ours took a tour the other weekend of a woman's home. She's a crafter, and she opens her home every Christmas for tours for her craft group, her online craft group. She sells tickets to the public on certain days. And you go in there and it's just a Christmas store. She's turned the whole first floor of her house into, different Christmas decoration things. And then she partnered with a bakery The guy comes in, does cookie classes in her kitchen. I mean, it just, so there are so many ways to exercise your gift. And sometimes we think that little mouse doesn't mean anything.
Yeah. And we are really passionate about getting you to go to the front of your own line.
Mhm.
Everybody, figure out what your line is and get in the front. Because if you're not doing what you're called to do, you can't help everybody else. It's just like getting on a plane. Put your mask on first. Get that settled. Now
Yeah,
you can help everybody else.
there you go.
So with that, we want to invite you to our first Monday Christmas event. If you are in Sacramento or in the Sacramento area, we are going to be at Seasons 52 this evening at 6 o'clock.
Hmm.
And we will, we're going to just have some fun and talk and network. And Janice can tell us how to network well, but we will be there and we're going to be gathering together, just having some fun. This is December, going to have some fun.
Wow. Hi, Joe.
Joe.
Keep busy.
Anna says, I've given my talents for 4 years with the live stream community. I have a biz page and a group, yet I'm not 100% sure I can be a business person or if I want to. So you are helping people with live stream.
Mm-hmm.
And there are a lot of people who need that. And see, I understand what her question is. Am I really supposed to be doing this? Yes, I am messing up people's stuff this morning. Are you doing what you're really supposed to be doing? Everybody needs to kind of go and think about that.
Mm-hmm.
It's because, live stream is the thing right now. Will it always be? We don't know. But are you doing what you are supposed to be doing? I made mention of our friend TJ, who does social media marketing and digital marketing. She's passionate about that. She is in it. She reads it. She dreams it. She sleeps it. She brings it to our attention, and she talks about it constantly. Eat, dream, sleep. That's what she does. So I know that's her passion, and she's following that passion. She doesn't care if she gets paid for it or not. She's just going to tell us all about digital marketing, what you need to know. And if you need her help, then she's there to help you. But that's her passion, and she does it well. Find your passion, find your genius. Please share it with the world. There's somebody who needs what you have to offer. But if you're in the wrong line, they will never see you.
Or if you keep letting people go ahead of you, you'll never get there.
So Anna says, I am basically an associate producer or moderator.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I am going to go mess up your stuff. Terry and I will come up with some cows and some other stuff. So, but anyway, thank you all for tuning in and letting us
Thank you for your time
be
today.
on this tangent.
Conversation.
Yeah, well, it was a pointed conversation. Follow one another here on Facebook. Get to know somebody because somebody needs what you have to offer. Jill, if you need to calm your chaos, you need to see Jill from Breathing Space. If you need help with networking, you need to reach out to Janice Jordan because she can help you with that. She has a great book called It's More Than Wine and Meatballs.
Mm-hmm. You can get that on Amazon.
Yep.
Or on our website.
On her, I don't know if it's on our site because
okay. Well, it's definitely on Amazon.
Yeah, definitely on Amazon. Jerry Scott, if you need to know anything about crafting, you definitely need to be reaching out to Jerry or Terry here. And Joe, thank you for sitting in with us today. Love having you here. People who are watching on Facebook and on YouTube and Periscope, we appreciate you. Everybody watching live and on the replay. As Terry always says,
don't forget to go to the front of your own line. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.